What's up, guys? This is Geno J. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you how I create a scope of work and how I evaluate a property and determine the renovation cost for that property. Before I share this with you, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, leave any comments, any questions that you may want to ask. I'll do my best to reply and answer every question that I get in. I've been a real estate broker and licensed since 2007 with Keller Williams Realty. I've sold thousands of houses. I've did hundreds and hundreds of renovations. I build new houses from the ground up. So I'm just sharing with you, stuff that's helped me over the years and just how I do it. So I'm hoping that you can learn something from it and take something from it that you can use in your investing career. To put work in it, you have to put time in it, you have to educate yourself throughout the process. And yes, it comes easy to me because I've done hundreds of deals, but I had to start somewhere. And maybe this is just a starting place for some of you guys. Start to understand at least some of the basic stuff that goes behind how to create a scope of work and how to put together a realistic renovation budget. And this spreadsheet, I'm actually going to leave a link below, and you can use this spreadsheet. Just take it and use it for all your properties. The one good thing about this spreadsheet that it is line item, as you can see here, and it really breaks down pretty much everything that goes into the construction process. Whether you're doing a new renovation, build, or an addition, it includes quite a bit of stuff. All right, this is a property that we purchased, and I'm just going to kind of walk through what I see on the outside. So when I'm evaluating the property, on the first thing I'm looking at on the outside is what stands out and what am I going to have to fix. Obviously, I had to clear out all these trees and I had to clear all these bushes. The big thing, one of the big things was, one, replacing the roof. The roof was old. Number two, the rails here, I had to replace the rails because they were cracking, they were falling apart, and then they were just dated. So I knew I had to replace the rails. I did know that the garage doors were in decent shape and they actually worked. They were operable. So just painting the garage doors was just fine. The gutters, I had to replace the gutters completely in the back, and there were a couple downspouts that I had to replace. So I put that on my line item. The shutters, and this is just a judgment call on my behalf. Like, I knew I was going to go with a certain color scheme, and the shutters were actually in good shape. So I decided to just paint them. It depends on what part of town I'm in. If I'm going for a different look, maybe I'll do a different style shutter. But in this particular neighborhood, I knew that I was going to be the nicest house in the neighborhood. I was going to be overdeveloping the house, so I didn't want to spend money on new shutters when I could just paint it and get the look that I wanted to achieve. The biggest thing was just getting the yard cleared out, changing the rails, fixing the wood rot, replacing the roof, and then doing a nice color scheme that would make this house stand out. The windows were all in good shape. They all opened. I did have to replace a couple window panes and a couple pieces of hardware on the windows, but they were all in good shape. It's, in terms of paint, what paint can cost on a house like this is about $3,000. Typically, you're going to pay anywhere around $1 to $1.25 a square foot to paint. The reason I knew this house was going to be a little bit more than $1, just because my painter was going to fix a lot of the little brickwork. There's a lot of extra caulking that was involved, pressure washing. I got vines that's growing on this house. So if it was just a regular house that didn't have all the little extra work, I could have probably got the house painted for $2,500. But it ended up costing me $3,000 to get this house painted. But that included him painting the gutters, the shutters, all of the exterior windows, all of the exterior doors, and all of obviously the siding on the house. So let's just fast forward a little bit. As you can see, the yard was in bad shape. Now it cost $5,000 to clear this yard out because it had an old pool in the back, and I cut down, I think 3-4 trees. I can't really remember, and all this stuff had to be hauled away. So you can see it was quite a bit going on in this backyard. And just pan around so you can kind of see. So, and it had this old deck, this old wood deck, and so all this stuff had to get tore out. And this was, this was probably the biggest overall cost was the yard, because with clearing out the yard and what I'm putting in the landscaping, I'm gonna be $6,500 or so just on the outside, just in the yard. I'm gonna take a walk in the inside, and again, I'm gonna share a link with you guys that has the breakdown of the cost, so you can watch this video and hopefully kind of put 1 and 2 together and see what some stuff cost. So in here, I had wallpaper on the wall. Normally when you have the wallpaper, it's a lot harder. It's a little bit more involved because you got to take the wallpaper off, and then you have to mud the walls and get them smooth. Had to replace this back door. I had to replace this deck. All of the electrical was actually in really good shape. I did have to replace all of the switches and all of the outlets, just because they some of them didn't work. They were kind of in bad shape. This is the demo stage. I demoed the kitchen, and you'll see what the new kitchen cost on that line item, and also share with you what the granite cost on the line item as well. I ended up going with a laminate wood floor that was water resistant throughout the kitchen, and also the same wood I put in the halls, and I also put in the living room. So I wanted to have a good flow and a good feel to the house, and I just did the carpet in the bedrooms. So this is going down the hall. This is the first bathroom to the left. And I broke down what those costs were on the line item budget. So this is, like I said, the demo stage of this property. See, all the electrical wiring was, like I said, was good. This is just a bedroom number 2. And that was 3. I didn't go into 3, but this was the master bedroom. Now replace some trim. It was some carpet and paint. Replace the doors. This was after demo. This was everything, demo down to pretty much the sheetrock and the studs here. And I kept this bathroom the same size. One, because I know the location, it doesn't really matter. I'm still going to get the same amount of money. I didn't have to like over like go crazy in terms of opening up the floor plan. My whole goal for this property, it was on the outskirts, so I knew the area. I just need to make it nice by updating everything in the house, as far as like the tile, the kitchen, making sure the electrical, the plumbing, the HVAC was good, and I could get good money for the house. So I didn't have to go crazy by opening up and putting all the wow and excitement in it. Just make it a nice house for a first-time home buyer. This was the basement. So in the basement, I just sheetrocked the walls. I added I took these lights down and put a couple normal lights up there. And what else did I do? Oh, just carpet. So I just tried to make it simple and keep it clean and didn't try to do too much, go too crazy down here. So this is the walkthrough of this property. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you this line item. So this property is my Carolwood property. And as you can see here, the demolition was $1,500. The dumpsters, I actually ended up using 4 dumpsters. So the dumpsters was a little bit more than the $1,275. It cost me $5,000 to cut down those trees and get the underbrush done. I built the deck, and off the back, that was labor was $1,600. The lumber was $1,200. I built the front rails, and the rails were $1,000 for labor, $800. The roof cost $4,500. The windows, again, I only replaced a couple broken panes, and I replaced a couple pieces of hardware. The exterior doors cost $450. The doors were $900 for the front and back door. The soffit labor was $600. The material was $500. $450 to repair the gutters. Exterior painting. I have 25 here. It ended up costing me $3,000. So this needs to be changed to $3,000 because of all the little extra stuff that went along with, you know, getting the house ready for the outside paint. The new HVAC system was $3,200. The plumbing, I had to fix a lot of the plumbing in the house. There are a couple places where I had busted water lines because the house has been sitting for a while. And then when I replaced when I demoed the kitchen and the bathrooms, I did all new, valves and make sure everything, all the valves and stuff were new. So my plumber charged me $2,000, but he included the material like the P-traps, those things. And I just bought my tubs, my water heater, my faucet, and my valves. He included like I said, the P-traps and stuff, and included his labor. The electrical, I changed out a couple breakers in the house, but all the wiring was good. I had to make a couple new runs in the kitchen because I demoed and I changed a few things. So this was $2,500, and that was labor and material for all of the switches. He changed out all the switches, all the outlets, and he changed out all the fixtures. Now I actually purchased my fixtures, and the fixtures were, I have 1,000 here. It was right around $1,000 for the fixtures that I purchased. Drywall, this included the labor and material for the whole house. There was the master bathroom I had to replace, the hall I replaced, and the basement drywall I replaced. The labor for the interior doors and shelves, I had to replace a couple doors. A few pieces of trim I had to replace, and I also had to put in shelving material. So this was kind of the labor to do all of this work here. The garage, I ended up painting the floor a dark gray color, and this was labor and material to paint the garage floor. The interior painting was $3,000. The material was $800. Carpet, this was for the 3 bedrooms, and the basement was $750. The carpet was $1,500 for the carpet. This is what I had in the budget. The hardwood floors, $1,500. Material was $1,600. So just the upstairs kitchen, living room, and hall was a little bit over $3,000. Obviously, carpet is a lot cheaper, but I wanted to use the wood throughout the main levels. The kitchen, $850 for labor, and then I paid $2,800 for the cabinets. The granite was $1,650. That included the sink, and it was just a basic granite. The faucet, $150. appliance labor 250. The appliances were 2,500. The tile labor and the materials 850. I bought two vanities, combo vanities from Home Depot, about 450 after tax. To tile both bathrooms was 2,500. The material was 2,000. Landscaping on the outside 1,500. You know, some final site cleanups and touch-ups 300. Doing home inspection 300. So total budget for this property $65,655. This was my budget for this property.